We now move to a question at the heart of every organization entering the AI era. What remains uniquely human when intelligent systems become part of everyday work? Please welcome back Aniela, CEO of Webit, joined by Marinova, Legal Counsel and Head of Legal at Philip Morris International, for Beyond Automation, where AI meets human judgment and responsible innovation. Together, they will explore how AI can enhance people, decisions, and organizational capability, while preserving accountability, judgment, and responsibility. Because the real question is not only what machines can do, it is how humans evolve alongside intelligent systems, with trust, purpose, and better judgment. Welcome to Aniela and Mariya Marinova.
Well, Mariya, it's an honor for me to have you here on the stage. Let's talk about AI. Today, this is the topic. When people talk about AI, though, the conversation often starts with efficiency, but ends with fear. From your perspective, what should the real conversation be about?
Thank you very much. This is a great question to start with. So, I'm human. You are human.
Definitely we are.
Everyone here is human. Despite the two robots outside. Still have no AI chip in my brain. Imagine that. So as humans, what we have emotions and feelings. And of course, it is okay to have mixed feelings when we talk about AI and the future ahead of us. So it is, from one side, excitement, from the other side, it is fear. And this is very normal. And here the question and the real answer is actually not to put human versus machine, but actually how we go forward and how we collaborate and put the humans at the center of all of it.
PMI's recent white paper speaks about human cognition as the next frontier. What does that idea mean in practice for companies today?
This means that recognizing AI and what is the future coming ahead of us to nourish superhuman skills. What does that mean? This means to actually put deliberately efforts developing human judgment, making the right decisions, adaptability, creative thinking, all these which are at the core of the human nature. So this is what it is going forward, and actually always talk about AI, but at the same time really putting the humans at the center of it, and how leaders and organizations are deliberately putting efforts on developing these skills, because I mean these superhuman skills are not given. They just need to be developed, and I think leaders and organizations really need to put efforts in those directions.
Yeah, that's true, but if AI is becoming part of everyday business, where is the balance and what makes its use responsible rather than risky?
The question of responsibility and liability is always at the core, because computers cannot be held liable. I'm a lawyer.
Yeah,
I see that, right? So humans are the ones to be held responsible. Computers cannot be held liable. So it is for leaders and policymakers to actually put the right policies in place and to shape the regulatory framework in a way that computers, machines, and AI actually help human augmentation, and it's not vice versa.
Give us some practical example of how AI is already improving the way of how your company works.
I can give many examples, but one practical example for what it comes to my mind is the so-called first pass. Imagine as a big corporation with very complex processes. We have a lot of policies, a lot of people involved, a lot of initiatives So
How that all works together, yeah.
so everything has to work together. So how do you come from strategy and mechanics and all that to actually go to the communication material, where legal and marketing and communication colleagues and everyone has to put their insights. So we have the so-called system first pass. So basically it combines all communications, all legal regulations, all marketing inputs, and basically all internal codes, and basically gives the colleagues, the marketing colleagues, a visual, which then comes to legal to review and to communications and external colleagues to review, to put the nuances and the context. So this is a really practical use, because imagine like all these complex initiatives we have internally to actually make it more simple and time efficient. Because, for example, let's say if it takes for this review to take place 4 weeks, now it can take 4 days.
And it's your internal
It is, yes.
system developed
and this
especially
is just,
for your...
Yes, and this is just one example, but like we have many more spread in the entire organization. And here is actually very important how big organizations, and not only big organizations, how they see and structure and design internal processes. Like from one side to really make processes efficient and easier, but from the other side, not to really replace human judgment and decision making, because at the end of the day, it is you to take the decision, it's not the AI.
Yeah, but if one side of the innovation is efficiency and then the speed, the other side is clearly what? The trust, I think. And how do you think about that balance? How do you achieve that balance?
Trust is a core value for my profession. Okay, for legal profession, trust is really the core value. So today, with everything what is happening, we are talking about legal lawyers, not as lawyers, but like this new concept as legal architects. So basically what we do, we shift our role, and if now AI can do massive legal research, can read regulations and laws, can summarize law cases, can draft contracts or letters or whatever, then what about the lawyers, what they do? So now, so now, here's the shift. Here's the shift of our role. So we are becoming legal architects. We actually design the frameworks. We put the human judgment. We put the ethics, because it's very important, of course. The ethics, the nuances which come out of complex environment. So you take into consideration the context, the environment, everything, what is going on.
So you kind of translate.
So yes.
Between.
And then we actually put the law into the center of how to navigate and how to help the business and organizations to achieve the business strategy and business objectives. So yes, it's a very interesting time for our profession as well.
Let's move from internal transformation to external impact. So you're working now, as far as I'm aware, for a digital age verification solution with EvroTrust. What are the problems that you're trying to solve with that?
The problems are clear. So basically, no underage people to have access to products they must not have access to.
How do you secure that?
Yeah, so it is not only about tobacco, nicotine, it's alcohol, it's about social media, it's about everything that minors must do not have access to. And this is like a very important topic, and we really need to talk about that, like not only as businesses, but as a society as a whole. So now with all these technologies, for example, AI face recognition, AI face estimation, we can use that. Or we can use digitalization and ID verification, exactly this
Is it becoming easier or more complex?
This is the idea is to become easier, yes. This is the idea. And then to be like, we really to safeguard what we must safeguard. And this is the health of the minor people, the minors. So in this context, this topic is becoming really crucial, and we are already working on use cases for online age verification and offline age verification at retailers.
So if you had to connect these three topics, human cognition, first pass, and digital age verification, in one final message, what would it be?
It will be innovation is the common thread, but innovation doesn't go alone. It is the human that actually drives the progress toward the future, and innovation and all the technology, including AI, this all must help people to actually improve the ways of working and build trust themselves as well.
So trust.
Yes.
This again. Thank you so much, Mariya. If you have one final message, more than welcome to share with all of us. Thanks for being with us.
Yes. Thank you, everyone,
for the support.
Being here. Yes. So we have a.
If we have some questions, I see that we are very strict with time, so we have time. Do we have any questions from the audience? Do we have mic around? All right.
A killer and he gets caught, both of us go to jail because I initiated the hit. The morality and the law regarding AI. If I train the AI to kill someone and it actually kills someone, how am I being, in the eyes of the law, can you prosecute me?
Yes.
Why?
Because you're the trigger, you're the human. You're the human, yes.
You trust the AI over me? I would only kill people I know.
As I said, machines and AI cannot be held liable, so we need to really have the regulations to put this in place.
And that's why I use the humor to emphasize this point. So far, AI is not regulated, and every tool that ever existed, a knife in the hand of a surgeon is a life-saving tool. The knife is in the hands of a street thug is a life-taking tool. So don't blame the tool. You have to regulate it.
Next time we will give you a keynote. At Webit, only peace and love. Thank you so much for everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Mariya, for being with us.